Assalamualaikum. Alright, in this video we'll look at the mean value theorem. So what is mean value theorem? Alright, so let's look at the theorem. What does it state? Right, it states that if fx is continuous, meaning that the function is actually follows the three conditions for continuity on the closed interval AB and differentiable on the open interval AB, meaning that we can differentiate the function fx and we can substitute the value of the f prime of x with any values between a and b. Then there exists a number c, right? So there must exist a number c in the AB such that it satisfies this equation, right? So what we have to remember in this topic is just this equation because we'll be using it. All right, so what does it mean by this? All right, meaning to say that something like, all right, so it says that there must be c between this a and b. All right, so there must be a c between the a and b. Suppose that c is somewhere around here. All right, so let's just say c is somewhere around here, such that f prime of c. So what does it mean by f prime of x? So if this is fx, so f prime of x is actually the gradient of the tangent. At which point? So now we're going to look at the f prime of c, so at the point c, meaning to say that we're going to look at the gradient of the tangent line, meaning to say that we're going to draw the tangent line that passes through the c, right? So something like this, right? It passes through c. All right, so we know that this is the tangent line here, supposed to say that. All right, and at the value of c is actually given by what do we call that? Sorry, f prime of c is actually given by this gradient. All right, so we know that if we draw that green line is actually the kind of triangle, so we can find the y1 minus y2, y2 minus y1, which is fb in this case, fb minus fa, all right, divided by the b minus with a. So this is actually given by this formula. So we know that it is actually the gradient. So that's basically what is meant by the mean value theorem, meaning to say that we're going to look at c such that it has the gradient, all right, something like fb minus fa over the b minus a. All right, so to make it clearer, so let's look at the example. Right, suppose we have this fx equal to square root of x plus 1 and find the value of c. All right, we want to look at the value of c. We want to find the value of c in the interval 0, 4. Okay, so first step is that we have to determine the value of a and b. All right, so from this interval, we know that this is a and this is b. So a is given by 0 and b is given by 4. And we have to find the value of fa. All right, so fa means f0. So f0, we have to substitute the value of 0 in this function. We'll get square root of 0 plus 1, we'll get 1. That is fa. And now we have to look at we have to find the value of fb. So we'll have something like square root of, sorry, fb is actually f4. All right, so we're going to substitute the value of x with 4 into the function fx. So square root of 4 plus 1 will be 3. All right, 2 plus 1 will be 3. All right, so this is the first step. So we have found the A, B, FA, and also FB. And now we have to find the, all right, we know that we have to, all right, so we have the fx here. So we can rewrite fx something like x to the power of 1 over 2 plus 1. All right, so to find f prime of x is actually, we have to differentiate this. We'll get something like 1 over 2x to the power of negative 1 over 2. All right, so this can be written as 1 over 2 square root of x. Right, because we want to use the f prime of c in this formula, so we'll just substitute the value of x with c. Right, so we'll have something like f prime of c is actually given by 1 over 2 square root of x. All right, x now substitute with c. All right, so now something like this. And then we have to use the formula, so we are given with the formula. All right, so we have the formula that f prime of c is given by fb minus fa over b minus a. So we'll just write the formula first. So we'll have something like f prime of c is actually given by f of b minus f of a over b minus a. All right, so we are trying to substitute the value of f prime of c is given by this. So, all right, so we'll have something like 1 over 2 square root of c is actually given by fb minus fa. So fb minus fa, 3 minus 1. All right, so we'll have 3 minus 1 over b minus a, so we'll get 4 minus 0. So we'll have 4 minus 0. All right, this will be 2 over 4, which is 1 over 2. So we have to simplify the equation 1 over 2 square root c is actually equal to this, all right, 1 over 2. So we will have something like this, all right. So suppose that I do the cross multiplication, I will have something like this, all right. So 2 equal to 2 square root of c. All right, so dividing 2, right, 2 divided by 2 will get square root of c. So square root of c is actually equal to 1. So square root of c is equal to 1, so c is equal to 1 square. So of course c is actually equal to 1. So we know that the value of c is actually 1, all right, and we know that the value of c is in this interval, all right. So we know that, all right, so there exists c in this interval, all right, so that is c between 1 is between, we know that 1 is between the interval 0 4, the open interval 0 4, all right, and meaning to say that from the value 0 to 4 at the value 1, the what do we call the gradient of the tangent of this line is given by fb minus fa over b minus a, something like this, all right. So we have the steps actually in solving this. So first step, we have to find the value of a, b, f, a, and fb. Second step is to differentiate and substitute the value of x with c. And final step, you use the formula, all right, this formula, and solve the value of c. We'll get something like this, and then you check, all right, if c is between that interval, within that interval or not. All right, so let's move to question number 2. All right, so first step, remember that we have to determine, all right, so the first step, the value of a is equal to 1, the value of b is equal to 4. All right, now we have to substitute the value of our f1, which is fa, is actually, all right, this is fa, f1, we're going to substitute the value of 1 inside this function. Well, something like 1 square plus a 3 multiplied by 1 plus 2. All right, so this is actually given by 1 plus a 3 plus 2, we'll have 6. All right, so for the fb is actually given by f of 4. All right, so f of 4 is actually given by 4 square plus 3 multiplied by 4 plus 2. So we have this something like 16 plus 12 plus 2. So we have something like, all right, so that one is 28, 28, 13, all right. So this is 13. All right, so we have the value of a, value of b, fa, and fb. All right, so next step is to find the derivative of the fx. So we have this fx, so to differentiate this, we'll have something like f prime of x is given by 2 of x plus 3, and we have to replace the x with c, all right, so we'll have something like f prime of c, so we'll just replace this x with c, so we'll have something like 2c plus 3, all right. So that is the second step, and final step is of course to use the formula. All right, the formula is given by the f prime of c is given by fb minus fa, all right, over b minus a. All right, so we have to insert all the values. All right, so we already have the 2c plus 3. All right, we have 2c plus 3 equal to fb is actually given by 30 minus 6. So 30 minus 6 over b minus a is given by 4 minus 1. All right, we'll have something like 4 minus 1. All right, so we'll have 2c plus 3. All right, so we have to simplify this. We actually get, all right, 30 minus 6. All right, 30 minus 6, we'll get 24. 24 divided by 3, we'll get 8. All right, so solving for this linear equation, all right, so we'll have something like 2c equal to 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. So c is actually equal to 5 over 2. And we know that c is equal to 5 over 2, which is 2.5. Is it in the interval? So please check first. All right, so is it 2.5 inside these intervals? Yes. So we have to write that 2.5 is actually inside element. Element means inside the open interval interval 1, 4. So we have done the finding the value of C within this interval that satisfies the mean value theorem. So let's move to the next question. We have something like this. So always the first step, we have to determine the value of A and B. A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 5. Next is FA, meaning to say that we'll have to find the value of F1, which is given by 3 minus 2 multiplied by 1 over 1 plus 1. So we will have something like 3 multiplied by minus 1, 1 over 2, all right? And then we'll have to find the value of FB, where FB is given by F of 5. So 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 minus 2 multiplied by 5, so 5 plus 1. So we'll have something like, that one is 3 minus 10, negative 7, so negative 7 over 6, all right, something like this. Okay, so we already have these. All right, so the next step is to find the f prime of x. So to find the f prime of x in this case is actually to use the quotient rule, where the u is given by, all right, so I'm gonna write u first. So u is actually given by 3 minus 2x, and v is given by x plus 1. All right, so u prime will be negative 2 and v prime will be 1. So to find the f prime of x, we'll have to use the formula for quotient rule, where it is given by vu prime minus uv prime over v squared. So this is actually, all right, vu prime is actually, all right, so we'll have negative 2x plus 1 minus the 1 multiplied by 3 minus 2x, so over v squared, means to say that we have the x plus 1 to the power of 2 at the denominator. So we have something like, all right, so we'll have to simplify this. All right, simplifying this, we'll get, okay, negative 2x. All right, so I'm just gonna expand this first. All right, so I'll have something like negative 2x minus 2 minus 3 plus 2x over the x plus 1 to the power of 2. So this can be simplified as, right, so that negative 2x and 2x can be cancelled, so negative 5 over x plus 1 to the power of 2. Okay, so now we have this. So please note that after finding the f prime of x, because we want to find the value of c, so we'll have to substitute the value of x with c. So we'll have something like negative 5 to the power, over c plus 1 to the power of 2. Okay, so we have f prime of c is this. All right, so the next step is to use the formula, where the formula of f prime of c of the mean value theorem is given by f prime of c is actually given by fb minus fa over b minus a. All right, so we try to substitute the value of f prime of c, is actually given by this. So we'll have negative 5 over c plus 1 to the power of 2, right? This is actually given by fb minus fa, so negative 7 over 6 minus 1 over 2. So negative 7 over 6 minus 1 over 2 over, all right, so b minus a is given by 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1. All right, so I'm going to simplify the right hand side first. Negative 7 over 6 minus 1 over 2 should be divided by 4. We'll get something like negative 5 over 12. So this is actually negative 5 over 12. All right, so we have to what do we call, solve this equation. All right, so we'll have something like negative 5 over c plus 1 to the power of 2 is actually equal to negative 5 over 12. I can actually cancel the negative 5 on both sides, so I'll have something like 1 over c plus 1 to the power of 2 is actually equal to 1 over 12. All right, so I'm just gonna, you know, divide this by 1. All right, so sorry, I'm gonna take the reciprocal of this. All right, so I'll have something like c plus 1 squared will have to equal to 12. All right, so we have to solve the value of this by using the quadratic equation. So firstly, we'll have to expand that c squared plus 2c plus 1 equal to 12 equal to 0, equal to 12. All right, so we have to write it in the general form of the quadratic equation. So we'll have something like c squared plus 2c plus 1 minus 12 is equal to 0. So c squared plus 2c minus 11 is equal to 0. All right, so now we can press the calculator. So we'll have something like, all right, so 1 to negative 11. 1 to negative 11, right? So the value of C will be obtained as 2.4641, and another one, because it is quadratic, so it should have two values here, negative 4.4641. All right, so how to get this? So we have to actually substitute the value of A, B, C into the formula, where the formula is actually given by the value of C is negative of B. So negative of B is negative of 2 plus minus square root of B squared. So B squared is actually 2 squared minus 4. A is 1, C is negative 11. All right, over 2A, so 2 multiplied by 1. All right, so this is the formula for the quadratic equation. Okay, so actually we can just use the calculator to solve this. So but we have to check which value of C, all right, which value of C is inside the interval. All right, so please look at your interval. So the interval is actually 1, 5. So which one is between the value of 1, 5? Is of course this one. This one is outside the interval 1, 5. So we have to make the conclusion that only, all right, that C is equal to 2.4641 is the answer, because it is between 1, 5. But this one is not the answer, all right, not the solution for this one, not the solution for C. Why? Because, all right, because C in this case is not inside the value of 1, 5. It's not, which is outside the interval. So for this question, for this type of question, so if we have many values of C, all right, so more than one value of C, so we have to check which values of C will be in between that interval. It can be many values, but it depends on the questions. In this case, it only has this value which is inside that interval. All right, so that's basically what mean value theorem is. So we recall that we have to find the value of C within that interval using this equation. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.